It's time to pour and be filled. Let's get into it.
Hey, y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the Pour Collective podcast. So glad to have y'all here. As you know, I have a super special guest. I know I always say that, but my guests are always special. Jeffrey Thomas II.
Hey, what's up? How you feeling?
Listen, nobody is more cool than Jay Thomas.
No, what?
Yo, welcome.
Yo, this is a beautiful thing that you have going on here.
Thank you.
It fits you really, really, really well. You know, I've been rocking with you since your Crave days.
Remember Crave?
I remember Crave, and you know, I was actually looking at a picture from Crave the other day.
Oh, God.
Yeah, really cool times, man. So you always been innovative in your approach. So this doesn't surprise me. Y'all clap it up right quick for the lovely Miss Rasheité. Come on, clap it up for my sister. Yeah.
Thank you. So Crave, man, I miss Crave. We need to bring it back.
Run it back. You run it back, and I'm running with you.
Run with me. So we'll run Crave back.
Cool.
For those of you who don't know, Crave was a workshop that we did at New B.
Absolutely.
And I think we ran it for 3 years. And shout out to Larry Wilson and Mark Patterson. Mark helped with the first couple.
You had a lot of, Doc.
Yo.
You had Sherry the year I was there. You had Trey McLaughlin the year
that
I was
was a big year.
That was a pretty big one.
That was a big year. I think the year before that we had Jasmine Crumley, who I love.
Wow.
From Atlanta. But yeah, we need to next summer. We'll bring it back.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll run it back.
What you crave.
It was good. I mean, it was just a good opportunity to grow.
Absolutely.
As a worshiper, as worship leaders, worship teams. We had choirs. We had segments for the musicians.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I've always had a heart for that type of work.
The truth of the matter is, the heart for that type of work comes from how people either handle or mishandle you in previous seasons, right? So you may have likely desired to be a part of music ministry or a part of a certain thing, and maybe you just didn't have your skill set up to par.
Yeah.
And what gives you the proper heart and the proper perspective for doing something like Crave is not having the Rolodex to call people.
Yeah.
It's not having the budget to fund people, but it's having the heart to understand where they are, to be able to be empathetic, you know what I'm saying, to where they are and help them grow to that next space. I think that's probably your best characteristic, you know what I'm saying? So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to fill a gap.
I know you are. It's all right. Just take your time.
And so now we got Pour.
We got Pour.
We have Pour, which is like, I don't even want to call it Crave Reloaded because I think it's different. Crave sort of sits in its own space, right? Typical worship workshop.
Right.
You do vocality things, you do some spiritual enrichment, right? Musicianship, all that, which is definitely needed.
Mm-hmm.
Pour sort of takes a very different perspective.
Which way?
I think it's a little deeper than let's kind of improve our skill, right? A little deeper than just understanding what worship is, and it makes it a little more personal.
I like it.
Right?
I like it a lot.
Because as artists, as creatives even, we do so much giving of ourselves. And I don't think that we have really mastered how to pour back into ourselves. So we end up empty and burnt out.
This is good.
Right.
This is right. You know, the I don't want to call it a problem because it's not necessarily a problem. I want to say two things. Number one, I think one of the hardest things for creatives is we don't know when enough is enough, right?
That's good.
So it's like if I love playing piano, if I love writing my songs, if I love singing, if I love creating whatever it is, we don't know when enough is enough. And if you're the type of creative that your heart gets in stupid deep, right? So now you don't know when enough is enough, and then sometimes you kind of become a glutton for pain.
Okay.
Right?
You just said something like so real.
Yeah.
Because then it hurts, but you don't stop.
But you don't stop.
Like, what is wrong with us?
Well, I think it's the same thing. This is the other thing that I wanted to say. I think it's what the issue that God had at creation, right? It's like, man, I love Adam. Man, I love Eve. But they keep messing up.
Yo.
And he's taking this Etch-a-Sketch, right? It's like new plan. I think that's the heart of a creative, knowing that something can work that maybe hasn't worked, right? And the space in between is figuring out how to make it really work, how to really make it accessible to people, how to make this song sang by the masses, how to make this art to be revered by the masses, how can the book get in the hands of the readers, right? And so we toil with it for as long as we can to make it right, to do what you're talking about, to bridge that literal gap. And the truth of the matter is, I think it's something that Jesus did really well that we don't do well. You watch every significant thing that Jesus does, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't really call Jesus a creative per se, but let me be creative in talking about Jesus, right? Here's Jesus who takes, 2 fish and 5 loaves, and all of a sudden he creatively feeds these people, right? And when this situation is over with, he had compassion on them before he sent them on their way. He feeds them. He takes care of them creatively. Yeah. He meets their need, whatever that need may be. It may not be fish and bread for you. It may be a song. Yeah. It may not be a song for you. It may be you painting on an easel. Whatever it is that you need to do to get that need met, Jesus meets the need. And here's what he does, right? He doesn't keep trying to meet the need. Once he sees that the need is met, he sends his helpers, the disciples, one way, the people one way, and he goes the other way. But what does he go do? He goes to go get the poor from his Father.
That's right.
He goes to go back and go get rejuvenated, goes back to go get restored. The issue that we have is we think the thing that we're creating restores us, and it doesn't.
Jesus.
Right? It doesn't restore us. It's literally a pour out of.
Right. It empties us.
It empties us. That's it, right? So at what point, I got mentees that I meet with throughout the week, some students, Butler, IU, just different things. And we talk about all these things musically and all the stuff. And after they get through and they be super hyped, we meet for 90 minutes. I wait to the last 7, maybe 6 minutes, and I say, all right, cool. So how do you connect with the creator since you're a creative? Because our dependence and reliance on you, think about what the people were relying on Jesus for. Yeah. Their need to be met. Yeah. In a creative way. Jesus couldn't do that if he didn't take that time.
That's real. And we're so good at modeling the busyness of Jesus, right? Because he was busy doing the work.
Yep.
But we miss the part where he goes off. And like you said, the people go their way, the disciples went their way, and Jesus was like.
And when he comes back, he does something amazing again.
Yeah, like it picks back up. It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. The problem for, I have this fear of bridges. My church is called The Bridge. Right?
Okay, so how do you have a fear of bridges and the church is called The Bridge?
So I'm going to say some things that may feel like I shouldn't smile or laugh when I say them, but it is what it is. When I was I was 12, my grandmother got in a few accidents on the bridge that connects Philly and Camden, New Jersey. And so ultimately, one of the accidents took her life. I'll never forget it. We were sitting there watching it was a Thursday night. We was watching the Cosby Show. Y'all know the 90s, right?
Yeah.
I was watching the Cosby Show, Different World, and all of a sudden my father gets this call, and he's running out, having to go handle the situation with my grandmother. My grandmother literally was just traveling back and forth. If you know anything about Camden and Philly, it's literally like going from Post Road to Fishers, right? Gotcha. It's a nice little quick stretch, but she ended up losing her life on it. Bridges have become a fear of mine as a result. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been really keen on confronting what I'm afraid of. So God gives me this ministry called The Bridge. Yeah. And it's to be able to connect people, not just to where they want to be, but really kind of where they should be. Yeah. I remember the morning that God gave it to me. I told you, definitely afraid of bridges. There's a bridge in Brownsburg that connects us back to Indianapolis that goes through Eagle Creek, right? Yeah.
Hate that bridge, by the way. Like
exactly, right?
Over that bridge.
You get the point. It'd be all high. It feels wobbly. You know what I'm saying, right? So, one Sunday morning, I was still music director for New Life, and I was on my way to New Life. I'll never forget. I said, I'm gonna take the way towards the bridge today. You know what I mean? And I called myself kind of beating some fears of just. I go take the way by the bridge. I turned on some good music and I was listening to some stuff. And what I noticed was the thing that I was afraid of crossing, I was doing it easily with music with me.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I was doing it so easily that when I got to the end of the bridge, I did a U-turn.
And went back over
I went back over the bridge. I got to the end and I did another U-turn and went back over it. And God made me see something that morning. He said, son, that's been your issue all along. He said, every time I try to connect you to something to get you to the next place, you start creating a cycle of that space.
Jesus.
Right? And then you get tired of the cycle. But the cycle of the bridge was never, ever there for you to make a cycle of it or make a life of it. It was simply to get you from where you are to where I want you to be. Here's my problem. Here's the issue. Many of us have created a cycle of busyness, a cycle of creativity that does not include an off-ramp.
Jesus.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Right? So we're in this cycle. And it might feel good.
Sometimes it does feel good.
Most of the time.
Especially when you're producing, right? Because you're like, I have produced something that looks good, sounds good, feels good, serves the people.
Them endorphins just start moving.
Yeah.
And you're sleepy.
Exhausted.
You're exhausted. You're hungry. You're not eating right? You're not thinking right. You're going through all the emotions of, man, that verse is really sentimental to me, man, but it don't fit the song. Like you're going, it's grief. It's all of these things that are combined into these moments. It's the same way with pastors who write sermons, right? It's the same way with visionaries that say, hey, God gave me this vision, but then they have to edit the vision, right? It's all of the same thing, but I think that for most of us, we don't include rest as a part of the cycle, as a part of we don't have an off-ramp. You get on the highway, right? You watch the over-the-road drivers, the truck drivers, right? Every 10, 20 miles, they have rest stops.
Yeah. You got to rest.
You got to rest. Their job is to drive. Their job is to connect one thing and get one thing from one place to another.
Yeah.
But all in between, they have rest stops. We see these little things and how they are in life, but we don't do nothing with them because we assume productivity. You know, I thought about, I'm 43, and I thought about how many things I likely missed out on thinking that I was missing out on something. So I chose to be busy.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, like, yo, what did I just do?
And you actually did miss out on something because you was busy doing something that you probably
parties
shouldn't
with
have
my
been
kids, not graduations, but just graduations with family members, like things that were really important. That because we love this, sometimes it's hard to say off ramp.
Yo, it's for and then the thing is that we drive ourselves to this point where then we want to quit altogether, right? So like I've been studying Elijah, where he's like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I want to quit, right? 'Cause
Ain't nobody but me.
It's nobody but me, right? But he put himself in that position. But the thing that again is so beautiful about God is He showed up under that broom tree and was like, and let him sleep.
Right, yeah.
And then gave him some bread and water. And then he slept again, right? Ate again. And so it is that indication of once you get to that point, if you don't take that off ramp, you're going to drive yourself to want to quit. And it's not that you want to quit, right?
You
it's
just
not
need
that
to go to sleep.
You need to go to sleep.
You need a nap, yo.
Eat some bread.
I think that having a supernatural ability will make you forsake natural tendencies, right?
Yeah.
Like you see a pastor who's overly anointed and he's used of God, and you don't want to take any of those things away, right? That guy can do 3, 4, 5 services on a Sunday, and eat a box of fried chicken that night.
Yeah,
like yo, Like, because the supernatural makes you forget that you have natural tendencies and natural things that you have to feed. You forget that you have a body.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. You're human.
You're human. And I think that the supernatural or the spiritual sometimes jades us to reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, think about it. You know, there are some people that feel like they don't have to practice because they're anointed.
Yo.
Right?
Kills me.
Right?
Kills me. And the anointing is going to do what the anointing
What it's
does.
gonna do,
right?
right?
Gifts are given without repentance. But at the same time, and this is like the whole, so the pour system, right? The pee and pour is prepared. You got to do the work. You have to, right? The R and pour is rest. Go to sleep.
If not even going to sleep, you know what I realize? Because sometimes it's hard for me to like go straight to sleep.
Yeah.
But I found peace in sitting doing nothing.
Okay, so how do you do that? Because my brain just goes, and I have started to try like true meditation, right? Quieting my brain, like slowing my breathing, focusing on like one thing, maybe it's a scripture, or you know what I mean? But it is hard for me to completely turn off.
So because I'm a producer, I think that there are some things that I've learned along the way. I used to have this, I don't even know what kind of computer it was. My boy Smooth P, Paul Otis, when I was like 20-something, he gave me this laptop. And it worked for a little while for me to make music on, but after a while, I just kind of used the laptop as a journal. And I remember journaling in there every time I finished a session, every time I finished a song, every time I finished a live recording, every time a record released. And what I would journal was all the things I would do differently if I had more money, more time, just more resources, right? And that process right there, believe it or not, started making me come to some harsh realities. I don't have more money. I don't have more time.
Right.
I don't have more resources. And the problem for most of us as creative are those three things: time, money, resources.
Facts.
Right? When I finally came to grips with that, I was okay being done when that was done, when the resources ended, when the time ended.
Got you.
I think for most of us, because our projects are projects of love, right? Or they're labors of love, we don't give ourselves a limitation. So you read stuff like, you know, givers have to have limitations. This is crazy what I'm about to say. Givers got to have limitations because takers rarely do. You hear people say that, right? But what about when you're the giver and the taker? From you. Because you can't stop taking time for what you're...
Yo, we are killing ourselves.
Yes, we are. And then we blame other people.
Yeah.
We're killing ourselves on behalf of other people. On behalf of other people. And then your family is looking at them people like, yo,
right,
looking at that pastor, but you love it.
Yeah.
He ain't asked you to do that.
Yeah.
Here's what happens when you get burnout. When you don't say it right, we call it church hurt.
Yo, the people might not like that.
I don't care.
The people might not like that.
It's the truth, though. Like,
oh, man.
Look, you know, the honest to God truth. Now, and I do believe some church hurt stuff is really legit. There are some people that are, but a lot of the stuff that we call church hurt is simply not being able to have the opportunity to do what we dream, think, or want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I always wanted to play the drums. Yeah, always wanting to and knowing how to are two completely different things. Oh, I've always wanted to know what it's like to stand up here behind this.
Yeah.
Wanting to and knowing to are completely different functions.
Yeah.
They're completely different preparations.
Yep.
Completely different operations, right? I believe that people, when you're not, it's almost like a kid. In church, we have adult tantrums, right?
Yo.
You tell your kid, you at the store, like, yo, don't grab nothing when we get in this aisle. And they grab a pack of bubble gum and you smack their hand a little bit. It's the same thing when you go to church. Hey, listen, man, you can sing in the choir, but you're not ready to sing in the mic. Church hurt.
Yep.
They're throwing an adult. You're really not ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not. And the absolute truth is, that's why I appreciate what you do, the pour, even with Crave, because it gives the opportunity for real-time conversation to happen. So things like knowing how to talk to people and tell them, hey, listen, I know that you want to work yourself to that. There are a few steps before that before I can get you there.
Yeah.
And then if they decide to take that in a hurtful manner, I think more of the things that's hurtful from the church is probably how they say a thing.
Yeah.
Instead of what's actually being said, right?
Yeah.
Because, the truth, we live in the age of online and social media and all the things, right? I scroll through videos I laugh at all day that were really church services.
Yeah.
No. They weren't meant to be funny. They were really church services.
Yeah.
And this is somebody that you probably should have said, no, sis, you don't need the mic.
Yeah, like that ain't it.
No. And now your church is known for sis to grab the mic. This shouldn't have grabbed the mic while everybody laughed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We live in a different time now. Now, maybe in the 80s and the 70s, whosoever would could grab a mic and jump on the drums, and that's cool.
Because y'all going home and you're not
nobody
going to see it
remember
no more.
it.
Nobody's going to remember it. Yeah.
That before you get out of church, that joint will be viral.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother form. Because we talk about church hurt, but what about viral hurt?
Yo.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we probably should do like a little series that talk about people who went viral for getting laughed at.
Yo.
Church hurt is different than
That's different. It's because you out there thinking that you killing it. You're not.
We all go through it, man.
Man, you know the other thing that you made me think about with church hurt, and I'm gonna tell a little bit of a personal story where you said sometimes church hurt is burnout, and I remember Donovan, my 6-year-old. I was pregnant with him. It was terribly hard for me and my husband to get pregnant, and we had a loss, which was hard. And when I was pregnant with Donovan, I went into labor with him at 21 weeks. They had to stop labor, do surgery. I mean, it was a mess. And thankfully, he made it. He was born at like 36 weeks.
Jesus. Yeah.
So, true miracle.
Right.
But at that 21-week mark, I was on bed rest, and I couldn't do anything. We had I think we moved to Brownsburg maybe like 6 months before that. So, New B was on the east side. I was like, I can't do this, right? Mm-hmm. Can't make this trek, can't do this. But prior to that, I served like with everything that I had. Not because anybody asked me to, not because anybody told me that I had to. And at that point, I think we was having 4 services at New B. I was singing every week at every service, doing Crave, I worked from home. So sometimes I would be at the church during the day with Mark hanging out, doing stuff like helping him do ministry, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it made me feel good, right? It's like I'm with Mark carrying this ministry on my back, on my shoulder. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah.
Go on bed rest, leave New B, and I felt lonely. Mm-hmm. I was like, it was one thing to not be singing anymore, and a lot of times as creatives, we tie our value to what we do. So it's like, dang, I'm not singing anymore. I'm not on a platform. I don't got a mic. Can't move I can move from the couch to the bed. But I remember feeling like nobody from New B called me. Nobody came to see me. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't hurt that they didn't call or come. I was really hurt because it was like all the things that I did, was it not valued enough for you to come and see me, right? Not so much that you didn't call, not so much that, you didn't show up, but everything that I did for that church should be enough for you to come. And so I went through a season where I was like, I'm done with New B. Right? They can miss me at this point because how dare they? But the truth was, I was burnt out from all the things that nobody asked me. Pastor Jackson didn't say, Rasheité, we need you to, I did it. And he was like, okay. Homegirl is doing everything.
Man.
Right? Man. But because we're like, we tie our we're in that, I didn't take the off ramp. And then when the off-ramp was forced, instead of me taking responsibility,
we hate that.
I'm trying to find everybody else to blame.
They can come see me, and had they come see me, then I would have got a little bit strength to keep on doing what nobody asked me to do longer.
Listen.
Bruh.
So now you going to fold your arms and say you're not going to do it at all?
The last crave you did was like 2017, maybe 2018?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Cool. 2018, I kind of stepped away from a lot of things, right? And I kind of have lately, I've still been I know I'm active, but I'm inactive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You've been in hiding a little bit.
Good. I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know. 2018 was my last year I was in New Life. And what I appreciate most about the Ramseys in that moment, from May of that year all the way through December of that year, I experienced at least 2 deaths close a month. And I'll never forget, one Sunday, Pastor Ramsey looked at me and he texted me. He was like, dude, you fading out. He said, you fading out. You probably need to take some time, right? And I was like, nah, man, I need to keep playing. Like, I know me, I got to play, right? He's like, nah, bro, you fading out. And I could see it. Man, one Sunday I got up here to play. And in between the services, I kind of just like passed out just right quick. You know what I'm saying? It was the grief of everything that was happening. It was me not taking care of myself. I was a significantly bigger guy then. And I just wasn't doing nothing the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember when I finally came to the decision, like, yo, I think I'm going to walk away from this. And me and Pat, I told you when I tell these stories, no matter how deep they are, I'm going to laugh a little bit because there's something funny in all of them. Pastor Ramsey, I hear him, I say, man, we got to talk. And he knew, like, he already knew. I was like, I got to come to your office now. He was like, nah, man, you ain't coming to my office. He's like, meet me at BW3. Man. And so we go to BW3, we talking. And I was like, man, I said, I just can't do none of it no more. I said, it's nothing that you've done. The job hasn't switched. Any of the things haven't changed.
Yeah.
It's just that my own life is overwhelming me.
Yeah.
And for me, I just don't even, like, this don't even feel good.
Yeah.
Right? I never forget that even though I called myself resigning during that time, they still knew I still had a need, be it financial, spiritual, or even just creative. Man, they still let me play almost another year. Like, I stopped at after our Christmas program, that was 2018, but nobody really knew because I was still at New Life, and they still kind of covered me in that way. I said that to say this. Sometimes when we're not vocal about what we need, we blame people who see us the most as if they should see.
They should see it.
Right? And that's not always a thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they have to look at so many other people.
Yep.
Don't expect me to see something that you can say though.
Yeah. And we refuse to say it. And what I love about this story is that obviously it came back around full circle.
For sure.
I'm back at
You're back at New Beach,
right?
Praising God at New Beach.
You know, jumping across the stage, and was able to have some of those conversations with Pastor, with Larry, with Mark, right? Like, here's how I felt. I didn't express it then. And then to hear their heart, like, we didn't know.
Bro, listen, let me tell you this right now. Being in the seat that I'm in now, like, I remember when I went from just being a musician to being a musician and a producer, band leader, and then the musician, producer, artist thing. I learned something at each juncture.
Yeah.
Being a musician, we just wanted to play and get paid. Being a producer, I cared about the art.
Yeah.
I cared about how it was presented, and I went broke being a producer. Like, I would find the money, but I was spending the money to make it what I wanted it to be. Being the artist, I realized something. You ready for it? I had to pay the producer and the band.
Yo. Facts.
Right? Everything shifted for me. Like
Yeah.
my awareness about the artist shifted when I realized, man, he's got to give money to this person. He's got to give money to that person. Oh, man, I am that person.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, his name is Pastor Mark Plummer. Mark said something one day. Good friend of mine, amazing songwriter too. Him and his brother Jamar. Mark said one day, he said, Jay, you got to be careful not to criticize the seat that you'll soon sit in.
Gee.
Mess me up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're critically making comments. As a bandmate that just wanted to play and learn music, I'm talking crazy about an artist who likely ain't even getting $150 to be at the community council concert.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know that because I'm just a musician.
Yep.
And I'm hearing from all the other musicians how they getting paid. As a producer, I care about the art. Don't you care about it too? You care about how you're presented out in the world. Well, you got to come up with the money then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's an artist that got to come up with the money and still be an artist. As a pastor, right? Like I'm now understanding, as a musician, I just wanted to play.
Right.
I just wanted to come,
Right.
play my couple songs, you know. Maybe if it's a decent looking girl, I might say, hey.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Get him out
Why
of
we
here.
going front for it? You know what I'm saying? If there's somebody to tap the offering plate, you know, maybe.
Get him out
Get
of
a number
here.
right quick, yo. I'm just playing, sort of. Sort of. But yo, that's what we care about. But for real, like,
It's real.
we go to church and we thinking, man, today gonna be a good day. We singing "Presence of the Lord is here." Yo, you see her, right? This is what we do. I can say this now, and I'm single. You know what I'm saying? I can say certain things out loud I probably wouldn't say before.
We keeps it real on the Poor Podcast.
Good. Yeah. But yeah, you know, we cared about that. But then as a minister of music, I cared about making sure our Sunday morning was presented well.
Yeah.
Not just for online, because online is a big thing now, but then during the time that I was kind of serving in those capacities, it was still mainly about in the house.
Yeah.
And so you cared about that. But ultimately, you know what the pastor got to care about? Paying for whatever it takes to make the minister of music do that.
Facts.
And that funding doesn't always come easy. That funding comes with sleepless nights. That funding comes with overcommitting yourself and promising things. Don't over criticize the seed. The truth of the matter is, like, it's that same cycle that we talked about with the bridge, right? There needs to be an on and an off ramp. There needs to be a moment where we can all subjectively pull off and say, hey, well, the reason why money ain't happening for the musician is because, listen, the music minister of music wanted the orchestra and the da-da-da.
Yeah, doing too much.
Doing too much, right? And pastor, although he's approved a $20,000 budget, he cannot prove $21,000. I'm sorry. We don't understand those things like that, right? And we take them offensively. We take them personally. Oh, this is all I've done and this is all I did. Man, trust me, when you came and did that, you know what Larry did? He took the off-ramp. When you came and you fulfilled some of the roles, you know what Mark did?
Yeah.
It was a perfect time for him to take the off-ramp.
Facts. Yeah. Yep.
The problem that you have is that it's not that the off-ramp wasn't available,
But
you took joy in giving them the opportunity to take the off-ramp. And some of us, like I said, that's our hurt. That's our. It's not that the church hurt us. It's that what we love, we give up anything for.
To just keep doing
just to keep doing it, and to our own detriment.
Yep.
It just is what it is, and I gotta be honest with you. One day I woke up and I said, I love this, but there has to be a different way to do this and love it.
And there is. If we would just take, like you said, take that off ramp and trust the process, the real process, not this process that we created where we don't allow ourselves to stop. Because then, like, you come back with fresh eyes, with a fresh mind, right? Whether you're looking at a song, looking at a book, whatever it is that you're creating, walking away from it and coming back is so powerful.
I'd say this. You spoke about sometimes how it's hard to turn your brain off. I've been telling my friends lately, I never leave the space. And I'll tell you what I mean, right? Yeah. I can tell when they got you, right? But I never leave the space. I like to cook. I like to cook a lot.
I'll be seeing you on Facebook. And first of all, I'm going to let you tell your story.
Cool.
You be cooking too late at night for me. I'm like, it's like 11 p.m. and he's making steaks.
Watch this. I want to give you the other art of being me.
Okay.
Here's the art of being me. By the time you see a video at 11 p.m., I probably did that 3 days ago.
Okay, that's helpful.
If you see me at a restaurant today, like if I post something today when I leave here, I'm not going to post P30 today.
Okay.
I'm not going to post Singular's today. Right?
Okay.
I'll post it 4 days from here.
Okay, that makes sense.
You see?
All right. So you're not eating these like elaborate meals.
No.
At 11:30 p.m. Now the meals look good though.
I know. Don't get it twisted. We do. No. No. I'm not that. I used to be when I was a big guy.
Yeah.
Those was 11 p.m. pork chops and macaroni and cheese, you know. No, but I like to cook, and because I like to cook, I realize what I like about cooking. I love the preparation.
Same.
I love to go to the store. I love to think about what's going to go into it, and if I'm being honest, that's me as a songwriter. And if I'm being even more honest, that's me as a producer.
Yeah.
If I'm being even more honest, that's me as a pastor.
That's who you are.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
I heard a quote one day. I can't remember where I heard it. I love quotes. Can't help it, right? Dude said, what's the play that you've been running your entire life? For me, it's creating something.
Yeah.
Whether it was Legos, whether it was drawn on the wall,
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Yep.
I stayed in process. I've even learned how to make my rest a process, right? So I'm playing music up under me that facilitates what I know I got left to do.
Yeah.
Everything. When I'm eating something for the day, I got a guy right now that shout out to Lance Parker, man. He's making some amazing juices for me. And when I say, like, I do like 3 or 4 juices a day, but each one is set up for a different part or a juncture. I'm never out of process.
Got you.
I'm never out of. When I'm in there cooking, I might take an hour and a half to cook. I'm not thinking about music, am I?
You locked in on cooking.
I'm locked in on cooking. But when I walk back to that song, guess what?
You back in it.
When I lock into that sermon, I'm right back. I'm never out of process. You have to figure out how to make rest that same thing. It's the same.
Because you learned your rhythms, and so then now you can work rest into the rhythms that already exist for you.
Instead of you trying to fight it and saying, no, I did this for a long time. A good one of my friends, Pastor James Jackson, Fervent Prayer, he was really good at scheduling stuff. Like he gets up, y'all see him do prayer early in the morning. He really gets up at like 5 a.m. Him, Dr. Scott, Leonard Scott's like that. They get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and what they would do is they would send me a bunch of songs that they would do during prayer. And I'd be like, yo, dude, why are you sending me 20 songs at 6 a.m.? Like, what in the world is wrong? And when I realized that they learned their rhythm, they learned the first thing in the morning, God is speaking to them. And their spirit man is open, and they're able to capture a lot during that time. Yeah. I started asking them how they balancing their days. I remember trying to duplicate Pastor Jackson's schedule into my schedule.
And you probably couldn't.
I never could get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, like, can't.
But once I realized, he set this to his personal rhythm, to his personal life force, his personal, literally, man, a schedule is a budget for your energy.
Yeah.
It's what I got left.
Schedule is a budget for your energy.
That's all it is.
Y'all got that? That's good. No, that's good. I want to be a 5 a.m. girly so bad.
Nah, hang it up, yo.
Hang it up. All right. It's
like
hung up.
our bodies ain't even shut. You probably good at falling asleep at 5. Probably more than you are at waking up at 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know this. If I make it and I'm woke at 3 a.m., it's over with. You know what I'm saying? If I don't make it to 3 and I ain't closed my eyes yet, Go ahead and start this new day.
Yeah.
If I see the breaking of day and I haven't closed my eyes yet, that's a no sleep day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's probably the same way with you, and you probably have to train yourself a different way. I've started doing little things like this. Man, this is so crazy I'm talking about this because I thought I was being old doing it, and I ain't gonna lie. I take a lot of cat naps.
During the day.
Boy, I take about 4 or 5. Listen, any studio that I go to, if y'all want me to show up, there's a few things that you gotta have in place, okay? I'm gonna make this perfectly clear. You're nervous about what I'm about to say, and I'm slightly nervous too. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it cool. No, few things that's gotta happen in any studio I go to. I gotta have some type of keyboard instrument.
Okay.
You can't have a studio and invite me without a piano or Fender Rhodes, something. I have to have something, okay?
Gotcha.
All right. And you gotta have a good coffee machine, right? Gotta have a Keurig. You gotta have a bunch of flavors for me because I'm gonna drink 4 cups of coffee. You see how ridiculously insane that is?
That is insane.
That sounds crazy.
And I'm a coffee girl, but 4 cups.
But hey, you know, I'm creating the music for you to drink your coffee to. You know what I'm saying? It's real life experience over here. But you know, and I'm going through my stuff. I'm going through the process of my day. I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
Just to keep doing, I'm killing myself. Literally. So here's what I do now. I stop. I take when this is over with.
Cat nap?
I'm on the east side today, so y'all have some east side delicacies.
You gotta get something to eat, right?
You hear what I'm saying? Like people may be talking real reckless about the side. I love Indianapolis, period. So there's some east side delicacies that I must partake in before I travel back west. And then I'm taking a cat nap.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I gotta be productive in other parts of my day. And it's just a recharge for that. It's so crazy how people like us will likely spend most of the day looking for a charger for our phone, but we never look for the recharge for us.
Yeah.
We don't. If you look at my stories too, you may see me do something else often, not just cooking. You're always seeing me by a body of water.
Yeah.
You want to know why? I'm doing what Jesus did.
I like it.
Literally, when I do chapel with them kids on Wednesday, we got 400 kids be screaming. Me and the DJ, they be screaming.
And y'all be kicking
going.
it. I love it.
Listen, but I want you to understand that at 11:45, when it's all said and done, I need to go find me some water, be quiet for a few,
Yeah.
find me some food, and lay down. Like, I realize I can't be the very next thing. It may be dealing with adults, but I just got through listening to 400 kids say, Pastor J! Wait a minute, I need a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a machine.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that those are things that we got to think of. When you start wearing different hats and you start functioning, operating in different ways, like you've got to conserve your energy. We're in Harville. Our church is in Harville. And I told you everything is funny to me, man. You got to know. I'm trying to figure out how to, in my brain before I get it out of my mouth, PG some stories up. I want you to know I'm over here just like cleaning this up, man. You ain't got to censor me. I'm doing it, right? The old guys in Harville, though, man, they're really cool. I love them so much, man. And I appreciate them. You know why? Because they're the old guys.
So?
It's something in their day and something in their cycle that allowed them to make it from young guy
To
old guy, and to still be in a position to tell a young guy how to make it to old guy.
I like it.
Right? I love seeing them. I love having conversations with them. I love hearing their insights. I love hearing their regrets and their remorses, because what happens is it makes me, who's still a fairly young guy, realize that these guys who I revere and I respect and I admire may have made some of the same mistakes as I made as a young guy.
Yep.
But there's hope to be an old guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's hope to get to that point. When I see older musicians and older producers and older pastors who have transcended what we've known them to do, meaning we just known you to be a piano player, and now you're doing. It gives me hope to know that there's something else that we can do, man.
Yeah.
That there's something else we can be. As a creative, not only do you have the opportunity to create and recreate music, songs, food, fashion, whatever it is, you know the most beautiful thing you can do is consistently recreate your life.
I love it.
You can consistently look and say, yo, this piece right here is keeping me from that piece over here.
Yeah. And piece it together.
And it may hurt. It may not feel, it may not be like, you may have to let go of some pieces that you thought you'd never part with.
Yeah.
You may have to let go of something that you thought you'd never ever be away from, something that's been with you your entire life, man. I've had people that I've done music with, man, for the last 25 plus years that I realized that even though we've done great things together, there has to be a juncture where we pivot and go another way.
Yep.
Not that I don't like you, not that I don't love you, not that I don't respect you or value your contributions, but at some point, in order for this to be the next thing, in order for this to be the new thing, something has to be taken away from it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have a church planting mentor. He's in Phoenix. Really good guy. I really love him a lot. He has a bunch of citrus trees on his property. One day he was telling me about pruning. So every morning, I go down to Phoenix once a month, a couple of times, once a month for a couple of days.
Yeah.
So anyway, he'd be like, Jeffrey, go outside and go grab some citrus, and I'm going to make some juice. And he'd make juice every single day. It would be so much citrus out there, just different types of grapefruits, oranges, just you name it, he had them. There's a lot of different citrus, right? And I remember saying to him, like, man, you got a whole bunch of stuff. Why don't you just let your neighbors come over here and pick? He said, well, the truth is, I hope you hear this clearly. He said, I have so much fruit that I'm worried that some of it ain't sweet enough. I said, well, ain't it in season? Because in my mind, if it's in season,
it's good.
That's what we've been taught, right?
Yeah.
He said, sometimes when you hear this, I want you to hear this good too. He says, sometimes when you have too much fruit, you don't have enough sugar inside of the tree to give it sweetness like it needs. So you're too productive and it's not a good crop.
Yo.
I said, so what do? He takes me to the garage and grabbed all his shears and all these things. He said, we got to prune it. He said, it's not that we're cutting it because it's good. It's bad. It's a bad thing. We're cutting it to make it good.
Jesus.
Sometimes you have to cut off some stuff because you're giving too much sugar here, too much sugar. And the main thing is dying.
Yeah.
And we don't even know it, right? Sometimes it's just a simple, you know the difference between cutting and pruning?
Tell me.
Cutting is so it doesn't grow back. Pruning is so it's more productive.
Facts. That's not, I got a little garden in my backyard. And it's true. Yeah, you got to prune it to keep it good.
To keep it good. You can be productive. You can have fruit. You can have flowers. How long before they wilt?
Yo.
How long before it's rotten?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We're the same way.
Yeah.
How long before you wilt? How long before you're rotten? How long before your good is evilly spoken of?
Yeah.
Like, right?
That's heavy too.
Because you just want to be accessible. You just want to be in the mix. You know what I realized about me? When I overstay my welcome, I say something I ain't got no business saying.
Listen.
When I overstay my welcome, I do something I ain't got no business. If I had just left 5 minutes ago, everything would have been all right.
You got to take the off ramp.
You got to take the off ramp.
Man. All right. That's good. Yo, the off ramp.
The off ramp.
You got to prune.
No problem.
I like it.
Jesus.
I appreciate you.
Well, you know, I appreciate you thinking enough of me to come and wear this nice, cool little jacket.
Man, look at you matching the set.
You know, man.
I got my pajamas on.
No.
These are not actually pajamas.
Tell them what they are.
What is it? Tell them.
I'm going to tell them. Tell
them what this is.
This is from the Zsa Zsa Gabor collection. We want to call this elevated loungewear.
I got heels on.
She got her heels on. She got her tattoos all out.
Oh, so he wants to talk about the tattoos.
I was going there. I don't know what made you think he was getting away from that. I was going to talk about these loungewear and this tat. But we got to go back to the elevated loungewear first. Okay. Here's why. See, these things, this came up during the pandemic, too. This is why the pandemic was good for us. Because what happened is somebody done said, you know what? I'm sick of looking like I got my pajamas on this Zoom. I'm going to put on some elevated loungewear. You got on the necklace with it and everything.
Look, I got my hoops on.
You know what I'm saying? You was ready for the world with your lounge world. Is that what it's called, Ready for the World? The Zsa Zsa Gabor collection.
Yeah. You did not get to come and clown me on my podcast.
It's not no clown. You probably should go and get that partnership, man. The Poor and Zsa Zsa Gabor.
We got a little rhyme going. Y'all. All right.
Tell me about these tats right quick. Just tell me. You got a whole bunch of them.
I got a bunch.
It's like they poured a bunch of ink on your arm.
I'm super tatted, y'all. This one I just got. It's healing. But all my tattoos do mean something.
Pick 3 and tell us.
Let me pick 3. All right. So I have the boxing gloves. Mm-hmm. These are for Donovan, who I told you about. So his name is Donovan Jabari. And his name means strong leader and warrior. Because he fought for his life.
He's a fighter.
So he's a fighter. I have this crown. This is for my baby girl, Ryan. Mm-hmm. Her name is Ryan, which means little king. And people think that girls can't be kings, but they actually can. A woman can be a king. It's a certain type of queen, but it's still like the equivalent of a king. So I got the crown for her.
I like that.
And I don't know, can y'all see the keys?
I thought those were toothbrushes. I'm just playing. I'm joking. I'm bad. I'm sorry. I'm bad. I just wanted to just break the energy up just a little bit. Those are keys.
Keys. Because the Bible says that we have the keys to the kingdom.
Ooh, access to the throne room.
We have that access, y'all. And whatever we bind on earth is then bound in heaven.
And whatever we lose
on earth is loose in heaven. So that's what that's for.
So basically, you're a walking track.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I am.
You should really kind of do that. That should be like a thing that you do. No, seriously.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Tattoos. Every tattoo has a story.
It has a story, and most of them have scriptures. So
the woman king thing, I'm very interested in. I am, because I want to know the elevation from queen to that. I wonder what the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's very
it's dope.
Yeah.
Women kings are so powerful. And I named my daughter Ryan, and when I tell you, she is like the most powerful human. Like, names really
I see
make
your
up
eyes.
a person.
I see your eyes right now. Your eyes is like you seen a ghost.
Do you hear me? Like, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yo. And she was born early. Had trouble eating and sucking and swallowing. She walked late. She talked late. The thing I love about Ryan, well, I love a lot of things about her, but what's so interesting about her is the way we got her to start talking is through music. So she sang songs before she actually spoke. Right, but this is my woman king.
Yeah.
So
there's a scripture, and I'm out of here. There's a scripture. I feel like it's like Amos 9. And have you heard? It says soon. It's like the scripture there says, "Soon you'll see it. Blessings, swimming."
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But before that, it's this text. It starts out, "Sing, O barren woman."
Jesus.
Sing as if you're ready to give birth, right? And Amos is like a shepherd. He's a farmer, and he's a poet, right? So he's writing this in a poetic way. I think the thing that's beautiful about this text is how he's using singing. He's equating singing to joy.
Yeah.
He's equating singing to an announcement. an announcement that may not have anything attached to it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you say something like, man, the way our daughter started talking was she started singing. Before she made her announcement, before she made her proclamation, there was a sound that came out. I believe that there's something powerful about what happens when you sing
Yeah.
and there's no reason to.
Man.
Right?
Man.
Right?
Yeah.
Love you. I appreciate you for letting me do this. I can do this for the rest of the day. And I don't know if y'all got time, man.
I love you so much. I'm so glad that you came to hang out with me. Y'all, we're going to bring them back. We have to. For those of you who are watching, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit. Yo, if you have a ministry, if you're a pastor, worship leader, and you want to provide some resources to your team, Pour is meant to do just that. We will come in, we will sit down with your team, make sure we run through how you can continue to pour on that platform to your people, to your ministries, to your congregation, and not burn out. We have a system to help you find that off-ramp. All right, that's it. I love y'all. We'll see you in the next episode.